The most dangerous person in your industry right now has no team, they have no funding, and more importantly, they have no patience. They don't write tickets, they don't even book sprints, they don't wait for the next quarter. They have an idea on Friday and they have a working product by Monday. And this weekend, that person was actually me. So here's what I want to do in the next 10 or so minutes. I'm going to walk you through exactly how it went from a Friday afternoon conversation with my team on a product that I wanted to give to our customers to a deployed working internal platform by Monday morning that's actually been delivered to clients. And the product, we call this one MarketPulse, it ingests real building permits data, scoring leads with AI, feeding qualified opportunities into our customers' pipeline. A real product with real customers solving real problems. And the reason I want to walk you through this is not actually to brag or anything like that. It's because I believe that the gap between an idea and an execution, the thing that has been the bottleneck for entrepreneurs forever, is collapsing in real time. And most founders haven't caught up to what that means yet. And in this video, I'm going to show you the planning phase, how we plan this project, the tech stack, the AI build, the bumps along the way, and the shift products. And I'll share a few of the pitfalls that I ran into. And these are things you want to know if you're trying to do something similar. This is not necessarily a tutorial. I'm not going to be teaching you the intricacies of coding and stuff like that. There are better videos for that, or at least you can see that in my community. This is a story about what's possible right now and what I do differently if I was just starting out today. So let's get into it. So let me set the table on the bigger things first, because the specific build only makes sense in context. So for the most of the last 30, 40 years, the founder bottleneck was the same. You had an idea and someone else had to build it. So you typically hire a team to do that. And you either had to learn to code yourself, which took multiple years, or you raised money to hire engineers, or you found a technical co-founder, or you waited in line at an agency and paid them $8,000 and waited 4 months to get your hands on the product. Now, the gap between I have an idea and people can use this was typically measured in quarters, sometimes even years. And that's the bottleneck. That's the wall that every non-technical founder has been hitting since the beginning. And here's what's happening right now. That wall is collapsing, it's dissolving. It's not fully done yet, it's not perfect, but the time it takes to go from a clear idea to a working product has compressed by something like 50 to 100 in the last 18 months. And what used to be a quarter can now be done in a weekend. And what used to be done in 6 months can now be done in an afternoon. And the entrepreneurs who are figuring out how to operate inside this new reality are going to look like wizards to entrepreneurs who haven't figured it out yet. And this is not theoretical. I'm going to be showing you what it looks like in practice right now with a real product on a real weekend or a real company, my company, OutreachGenius. So last Friday afternoon, my team and I were on a call. We were strategizing for our business. And at OutreachGenius, our customers are home services businesses, so painting companies, flooring, restoration, plumbing, roofing, etc. And most of them are typically franchisees. We work with mostly franchise brands. And they're great at converting opportunities once you bring it in front of them. The hard part is finding the right opportunities for them in the very first place. So we've been kicking around this idea. What if we could solve that problem with public data, specifically building permits data? So someone files a permit for a new construction, a renovation, a fire restoration, a roof replacement. That is a real world signal that someone is about to spend a lot of money on a project that probably needs the exact service one of our customers offers for painting, roofing, etc. Right? And if we could ingest those permits, score them with AI to understand how valuable they are, and feed the qualified ones into our customers' pipeline, and use AI to contact those individuals, that would change the game. And there's also a second angle that makes it even more valuable. The contractors and the architects who file those permits, they're already on the job, they're already in our customers' territory. So this is not only about reaching their homeowners, it's also about plugging our franchise owners, our customers, into the network of professionals already working in their market every single day. So it's a two-sided play, for one platform that I was trying to build. And that was the idea with my team on Friday. And by Monday, the product called MarketPulse was live. Now, here's where I want to slow down, because this is the part most people skip. And it's the reason why most IPO with AI stories fall apart in production. I did not just open Claude Code on Friday afternoon and start, vibing. I actually opened a fresh chat with an AI concept, the whole thing. So what is this product? Who is it for? What data are we going to be using? Where are we getting data from? What does the customer experience look like? What's the success criteria? Then I told the AI to interview me and give me a lot of questions, and came back with a structured product discovery interview over 40 questions. And core product definition, customer onboarding, the scoring engine, the data flow, the duplication logic, territory management, edge cases that I did not even think about. And I spent hours thinking through all of this and answering every single question. And then I asked AI to write me a spec. So what came back was a full product requirement document, about 12 sections with core concepts and a language that everyone could understand, data flow with 18 number steps, scoring engine inputs and outputs, about 10 product principles, a milestone by milestone implementation roadmap. And this document was the unlock. Let me say that again, because it is the single most important thing in this video. The spec is the unlock. Without a clear spec document, AI is a very fast intern who's just going to build slightly the wrong thing very, very quickly. but with a clear spec. AI is a senior engineer who builds exactly what you asked for, and that is extremely important. And the skill that is becoming the most valuable founder skill in 2026 isn't just coding or telling you how to code, it's the ability to think clearly enough about what you want that you can describe it without ambiguity, with clarity. And if you can write a clear spec document, you can build almost anything. Okay, so I have the spec. Now I want to make architectural decisions. So this is the second place most people trip up, because they just pick up the tools because they're trendy or because they saw someone on Twitter using them, instead of picking the tools that actually fit the job. So here's what I went with and why. So Claude Code was my build, and was what I used to do the building to write the code. So I went into plan mode first inside Claude Code, and I dropped in the spec and I asked it to propose an implementation plan. And it came back with a 7-milestone roadmap, a confirmed stack, and a full repo layout. And I want to flag one thing here. I didn't pick all of these tools myself, even though I have some of my favorites. I told Claude what I was building, and I asked it to propose a stack. And it came back to me with this and explained the trade-off of why it made the decision. And this is a different mode of working than most founders are used to, because you are the architect and the product owner as well. Even though you're not writing the actual code, you still make all the important strategic decisions. And the AI proposes the technical ones, and you have to think through them and approve or push back depending on what your goal is. So that's a real shift, and it takes some getting used to. But once I accepted the plan, the actual build started. So I created a private GitHub repository on GitHub, which is where all the code will start. And I spun up a fresh Superbase project, which is my database. And I connected Claude Code to this repository and granted it the proper permissions. And then the database came alive as I started putting some stuff in there. And then I imported the repository into Netlify and wired up the environmental variables to give it access. And I hit deploy, it builds, and it published. Now, I'm fast forwarding through this part, but I want to be honest about something. This is not just a one-shot process. AI doesn't just write your product perfectly the first time. There's some back and forth. Just like how you're working with an engineer, there's some back and forth, there's iteration, there are moments where you're staring at an error message at 1 a.m. at night, wondering why is this thing broken, why is it not working? And let me show you one of those moments. So, for example, I tried to score the first 1,000 or so permits that we got when I started to get data flowing in, and the Netlify function timed out. Now, this is the moment that would have taken me hours of research, Stack Overflow, sort of look to solve this. And Claude diagnosed the problem in 30 seconds. He said, "Hey, your function capped out because you ran out of time." And he basically looked at all the problems and told me that I was way over limit. Then he proposed 3 fixes that I could make, and then he fixed the error. And I looked at all the things he proposed, and I accepted it, and I shipped, tested, and everything was working. And that's the second pitfall I want to flag for you, which is don't be afraid of the bugs. So most founders, when they hit an error, they assume that it means the project is doomed. With AI in the loop, an error is just a prompt away from being solved with patience. And the same thing happened with the dashboard. The first version was a chronological wall of every single run that it did, 40 rows of noise. So I basically told Claude this dashboard was not working quite well for me, and it came back with a plan, a redesign, where it ran the high scoring lead first, and then did a health check, and then a lot of runs collapsed by default. So it did all of this for me in a way that helps me understand the dashboard and work for me. And that's another shift. The AI isn't just a builder, it's a thinking partner. I want to use it that way. And by Monday morning, all the 7 milestones that we created in that spec was complete. The core product was live, and let me show you what we shipped. So we shipped, a signal library, which is a reusable template for the kinds of permits that each of our customers need. Kansas, for example, for painting and flooring was where we got started. And each template defines which permit types matter and which service apply. And also, we had a list of permits. So a customer dashboard that shows live high-scoring leads queues sorted by score, sorted by recency, every lead very, very technical. The other thing it shipped was the permit details. So, this is the AI scoring engine that doesn't just spit out number, it actually explains itself. For example, here's a $7.8 million fire damage review that's called 92, and Claude Code wrote the reasoning, the signal tags, the recommended outreach angle, and even surfaced the contractor already on this job as well. And then we had the map, and this is a territory map of about 779 permits plotted across Omaha, which is kind of what we're using for this. And all of this allows us to see, in real time, the map of where we're dealing with. And this is real, it's working, it's running on real customers' data right now as I'm recording this video. So let me close with what I actually want you to take away from this. Number one, the bottleneck for founders is no longer code, it's clarity of thought. And if you can describe what you want in enough detail, AI can build it. And the skill to develop is thinking clearly, not just learning to program, which is still important, but it's thinking clearly. Number two, don't skip the spec. I know it's tempting to dive straight into the build because the build feels productive, but taking that spec of documents is an actual leverage. And an hour spent on the spec saves you 10 hours of repeating the wrong things. And I know that because I've made that mistake myself before. Number three is treat AI as a thinking partner, not a code monkey. So the biggest unlock is using it for architecture, debugging, design decisions, product principles, not just write this function for me and just kind of think it's a magical box. Number four is to embrace the bugs. So every error is just the next step. of the prompt. Most founders quit at the first wall, and that wall is now a 30-second conversation away from being gone. Number 5, and this is the big one, stop telling yourself you'll build it when you have the right team. That sentence is going to age very, very badly, very fast. The right team for most projects in 2026 is you, an AI-built environment, and a clear idea. And the founders who internalize this are going to look like they've cracked some kind of cheat code over the next 12 months. They haven't. They've just stopped waiting. It's time to take action. Now, if you want to learn how to do all of this and actually do it, not just hear about it, I run a live sessions inside my school community every week. We get on a call. I work directly with entrepreneurs and founders on their build, hands-on, and we do these things practically, not theory. Now, the link is in the description, but whether you join or not, I want you to take one thing away from this video and act on it today. And that thing is the thing that you have been waiting to build. You don't have to wait anymore. That's it. Go build it. And if you haven't yet, well, join our free school community where I provide support to help you bring your software ideas to life, to help your business grow. So this is whether you're a new entrepreneur and you're trying to start out, or you're an existing entrepreneur with already a working business. All of this applies as well. I'll see you in the community.